Hey guys, it's Ian, and today we're going to be talking about something that I think personally I have been waiting for such a long time, and that is the potential of an Apple Smart Ring. So it would be a simple ring that would just go on your finger, and it would monitor your heart rate, your blood oxygen, your sleep, your activity rings, similar to that of an Apple Watch. Now you might be saying, why do we need a smart ring when your Apple Watch can do all that? The whole point of the smart ring is to actually just eliminate kind of having to always wear the Apple Watch, which is something that I am personally here for. So a big thing with smart rings is sleep tracking. So Oura and all these other companies have smart rings that are designed to track your sleep. Now, obviously wearing a ring to sleep over your giant clunky Apple Watch is definitely beneficial, and personally, I don't mind wearing an Apple Watch to track my sleep, but if I had the option just to use a ring that was very small, simple, and just kind of out of the way, I would wear that over my clunky Apple Watch just because of the fact that I wear my Apple Watch looser when I sleep, so it kind of bounces around while I'm sleeping, and it still tracks all of my data perfectly fine, so I'm not worried about kind of something happening. But wearing the watch over a simple ring is actually going to be a lot nicer, in my opinion. Now, there's also kind of another reason that Apple would want to do this is because other companies like Samsung are coming out with rings. Now, obviously Oura is a big company when it comes to smart rings, as they kind of pioneered the whole thing with their sleep tracking and have kind of brought other features to it. Now, there are smart rings coming from companies like Samsung. And I think this is pretty much why Apple would want to get into the market of a smart ring, because of the fact that it would be directly competing with Samsung if someone would want the Apple's version, essentially. So they wouldn't have to buy it from Oura or Samsung and use it on an iPhone, or maybe not even use it on an iPhone, and maybe this is the product that would pull you away from Apple's ecosystem. Now, Apple also making a smart ring is just kind of another way to lock you into the ecosystem, because as someone who has an iPhone, has an Apple Watch, has a MacBook, and has an iPad, that's not going to really go away just because another company is bringing a smart ring. I may be interested in it, but I don't think I would leave Apple just because I'm so far into the Apple ecosystem that I'm kind of locked in now for a very long time. Now, would I be interested in getting an Oura ring or something else like that and potentially not getting Apple's? For sure, because of the fact that Oura works with Apple and Samsung, and there's kind of no ecosystem there yet. But I wouldn't be locked into Apple's even more. So if I did want to go to Samsung or another phone company in the future, I would have that ability to do so. Now, we do know that it could be coming soon, but then again, we haven't heard any rumors about development, so there's definitely not a possibility just yet. As Samsung just announced theirs and they didn't even say when it was going to be out yet, but I do think that Apple might want to try to beat Samsung to the punch with this one, as they kind of already have all of the technology available to go. They do just have to slim it down, of course, as the ring is not nearly as big as an Apple Watch, which the Apple Watch has a heart rate sensor, a blood oxygen sensor, an EKG sensor. It has all these sensors that would definitely be nice to have on a ring, but to do that, I don't think we're going to get them all brought over right away. I do think we'll see the heart rate monitor and the sleep tracking out of the gate with the Apple ring, but I don't think we're going to see much more than that on the first generation. We may get a blood oxygen sensor, as Apple does have to redesign theirs because of the ongoing patent battle, and they want to keep selling their Apple Watches with the blood oxygen feature down the line, so they're going to kind of try to figure out their own way to do it. Now, also maybe the temperature sensor, as it is very small in the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Series 9 Ultra first generation and the Series 8. It's a very small temperature sensor, so I do think they can also bring that over, but they also have to make sure this ring is waterproof. Now, personally, I would not wear the Apple ring if I was going swimming or something. I would still resort to an Apple Watch just because you can see the metrics a lot bigger, but when people are washing their hands and stuff wearing the smart ring, you would obviously want to make sure that there's going to be no problems with him. And Mark Gurman did also kind of hint at this with his Bloomberg letter on February 25th, so it's definitely possible this could be coming soon. We just don't know when, or maybe not even at all. But personally, I would be very upset to not see this happen, as there have been many patents, whether it's kind of like bringing a smaller Apple Watch display and stuff like that. We don't really know what Apple's going to do yet, but it's going to be very cool. Now, there also might be a screen on the Apple Ring, which personally, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Apple is going to do. Although if they are going to do it, they're going to do it in a very Apple way, and you'll be able to interact with it with gestures. So kind of like how we had the double tap, I think it'll be a very similar situation with the Apple Ring. You'll essentially double tap your fingers together, and then your ring will kind of scroll through the data or whatever it may be. But it will be interesting to see how, if you have an Apple Ring and an Apple Watch, how it's going to kind of pick and choose which to use. Because personally, if I have the option to have an Apple Ring and the Apple Watch. I think I'm going to wear both of them until I get to those circumstances where I might not want to wear my Apple Watch. Like when I'm getting dressed up and I want to put on another watch that looks a lot better than an Apple Watch, but don't want to miss out on my activity rings, my heart rate and blood oxygen levels. So that's mainly why I'm still wearing the Apple Watch, because of the fact that whenever I go out and get dressed up, I'm still wearing my Apple Watch because of the fact that I currently have nothing else that can track this data and add it straight to Apple Health and affect my activity rings. So if you're giving me another device that's pretty small, like a ring like this, I would be all for it. And now there's also the other side of when you're wearing the Apple Ring, are you going to have haptics? It does seem that according to some patents that Apple is looking into this, and personally, I kind of think it would be a nice experience if this ring is going to have a screen, kind of just to like acknowledge, similar to how when you double tap on a Series 9 Apple Watch or Ultra 2, you get that little haptic confirmation just knowing that it's detected. And because the screen's so small, Apple's not going to be able to put that little fingerprint icon showing you, yes, you did double tap. So they're going to have to kind of maybe just have a little vibration on your finger, which will be pretty nice, I think. I don't think it's going to be bothersome, and you can also probably customize it in the iPhone app that it is most likely going to have. Similar to how the Apple Watch has the Watch app, there will just be an Apple Ring app now, which I think we kind of need to combine all of the wearables into one app just to make it easier for the consumer, but I also understand the need for different apps for each product. Now, it also will integrate with the Apple Vision Pro, which is something that I think will be pretty cool, but we just don't know how yet. It might just be for better hand-eye tracking, because of the fact that you are wearing the headset and the cameras are tracking your hands. So the Ring will kind of be able to connect maybe to the headset and say, I'm, 3 feet in front of you and 2 feet to the left, whatever the case may be. It'll be able to kind of just pinpoint those hand movements better without bringing in the need for controllers like many other VR headsets have. Now, there haven't been any concrete rumors about when it's going to come out or the price. We've heard patents and leaks and rumors kind of about Apple looking into this, and now that Samsung's gotten into it, it's probably going to be very soon that we're going to get one, but it will be very interesting to see the price. Personally, I don't think I would pay more than about $200 for a smart ring like this, as Aura's is about the same, and you do have to pay a monthly fee, so it's very interesting to see what it'll come to. I think $200 being more than generous, mainly because of the fact that I don't see the Apple Ring being upgraded every year, and this is mainly because of the fact that you're going to want to upgrade it when you want to bring a new sensor. And same thing with the Apple Watch. We don't seem to get a new sensor every year. We got from the Apple Watch Series 1 to 3, it was the same heart rate sensor. From the Apple Watch Series 4 to 5, we had the second gen heart rate sensor. The Apple Watch Series 6 brought the blood oxygen sensor, and the Apple Watch Series 8 brought the temperature sensor. So there's definitely been a few years we've gone without sensor upgrades, and personally, I think that's completely fine, mainly because of the fact if the technology is not there yet and you're trying to figure out the best way to do it, you're going to want to make sure you can do it better than anyone else, which is why I think the Apple Ring will kind of be similar to the Vision Pro, where it won't be upgraded every year. It'll be upgraded kind of, every 2-3 years, and as a consumer, if I can invest $200 in a smart ring that I know is going to work and have decent battery life, because of the fact that it is a ring and I'm not going to probably have to charge it every day. It'll probably have a week battery life, so it'll last 7 days, similar to that of the other smart rings on the market, because of the fact that it's just there monitoring. It's not buzzing and vibrating and doing all these other things like my Apple Watch does, which will be another thing. You can also kind of like remove yourself a little from being constantly connected, which I'm all for being constantly connected, but I definitely think you need to take the time away from time to time. But overall, this Apple Ring is going to be very interesting, and if we do see it come to market, I'm all here for it. But let me know what your thoughts are with a comment down below, and while you're down there, if you want to hit like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that as well, because that lets me know to keep making the content as you guys are enjoying it. But I want you to remember, today's a good day to make a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.